Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to make this pair of Converse sneakers. They're very easy to make, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make them. To make these men's Converse sneakers, the yarn I'm gonna use is Bernat Premium Medium 4. It's 100% acrylic, and this ball of yarn has 108 grams each. This is the same yarn that I use for my slouchy beanie or hat. So I have plenty of this yarn, and then I decided to use it this way. It's white and red, and you're gonna need some black. I have this one, it's more like cord. But if you don't have this type of yarn and you have this the same as the one that you're gonna do the sneaker, you can use the same. That's for the star on the side. You're gonna need tapestry needle, 2 markers, and a pair of shoelace, either the regular shoelace or you can use this type. And you're gonna need scissors and the crochet hook that I use for mine is 5mm, but you can use a 4mm or 375 depending on the size that you want to make yours or the size that you want the stitch. If you want the stitch a little tighter, then you use a smaller hook than mine. We're gonna start with the white. I'm gonna do a slip knot. And if you don't want to work with the white and you want to work with off-white, because white is get dirty very quick, you can do off-white. Or you can do this with dark color like blues and black and browns. Now I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and do a circle. Then slip stitch in the first chain. We're gonna do half double crochet, and we're gonna do 4 rows with the white. So we're gonna start with a chain of 2, and that counts as the first half double crochet. Now we're gonna do 14 more here on the circle, and I'm gonna lose that tail at the same time. Like this. Wrap here on the hook, you have 2, bring it through the hole, pull it out, you have 3 loops, and you wrap your on the hook and pass your yarn through those 3 loops, and like that is a half double crochet. Like that I'm gonna do 15, and remember I count the chain 2 as my first one. Here I'm gonna finish my first row with a slip stitch. I'm gonna count 1, and then the second chain I'm gonna do a slip stitch like that. Now I'm gonna chain 1 and 2, and that counts as my first half double crochet, and in that same space that I did the slip stitch, I'm gonna do another half double crochet. And now in every single space we're gonna do a 2 half double crochet. We're gonna end with 30 half double crochet. If you're working with let's say with a 3.75 and you want this to be a little bigger, and then in the next row you can do one more increase, but if you're working with a 4mm, I will say 30 will be enough. And remember I work with my stitch loose, not too tight, because if I want my stitches to be tighter I will be using a smaller hook. So I'm going to continue like this until I have my 30 half double crochet. Here I'm going to finish the second row with a slip stitch, and this 30 stitch I guiding myself with my husband's feet. So his are very wide in the front, and his size, it depends on the type of shoe, is from 9.5 to 10. So 30 is enough with my 5mm crochet hook. But if the person you're making the slipper have a smaller, narrow feet, so you will use a 4.5 and guide yourself with my 30 stitches. And remember, these 30 stitches is for the width, not the length of the shoes. The length you can do as big as you want. But this one is what decide the width of the person's feet. So for me, with 30 is enough. So I'm gonna chain 2, and now I'm gonna do 1 half double crochet on top of each half double crochet. for a total of 30. And that will be in row number 3 and 4 will be 30 half double crochet. If you want this a little wider, and you can do 5 half double crochet, and the number 6 you can do 2 together. That way you'll give a little more width if you're working with a smaller crochet hook. So I'm going to continue, and I'll meet you here after I finish my 2 more rows of white. Here I'm going to finish with my white, my 4th row. I'm going to chain 1, cut the yarn, and change to the red. Now in the same space that I did my slip stitch, I'm going to pass my red yarn. I have a slip knot. I'm going to pass it through there. I'm going to pull it through. Pass this to the back. Chain 2. Now I'm going to grab the 2 tail, the red and the white, and I'm going to lose them as I go. You're going to do 1 half double crochet on top of each half double crochet for a total of 30. Like that you're going to work all the way around. When you have your 30 done, you come here, and the second chain you do a slip stitch, chain 2, and come back again. You're going to repeat that for 6 rows of red. Here I have this one done, that I need to get my laces that I bought. They are too short. They are 24 inches or 61 centimeters, and they are too short. And then after we do our 6th row with the red, we're going to cut our yarn, and then we're going to do this part here, the opening for the sneakers. Okay, so I have 4 of the white and 6 of the red. So you're going to continue all the way around with the red until you have 6 more rows. And I'm going to do mine off camera. And remember, they are 30 half double crochet on each row. Here I'm going to finish with a slip stitch. I'm going to cut the yarn and then work with the 2 markers for the open on the top. Now we're going to use the markers. Let me grab 2. And now we're going to come here to the chain 2, and we're going to count that chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. We're going to put a marker, and 14. We're going to count 1 and 2, and in the 3rd we're going to put the other marker. Like that we have 14 in this side, and 14 in this side is 28, and the 2 in here are 29 and 30, and that's the open space that we're going to leave for the front. Here I want to show you 3 beautiful little squirrels. They're eating under the bird feeder. I have 2 black ones, but this one has 3 red. And this is the bird feeders there. There's a little bird. And all that there is seeds. They're gonna get fat. So cute. Now with the red, we're gonna do a slip knot. I hope you guys like the little clip of the little 3 squirrels, red squirrel. They're so cute. I love them. And outside it's very, very white. Everything is white here. Let me show you quick. Oh, everything is white. It's a winter sunny day. Okay, let's continue with our work. Here I have my slip knot, and here where I have the marker, I'm going to count that space. It's 1, 2, and then the 3rd one. And the strand of yarn on the back, you see you have 2. In the back, I'm going to pass my hook. And I'm going to put a slip knot. I'm gonna chain 2. At the same time, I'm gonna be losing that tail. And let me grab it if I can find it. Okay, I wrap yarn on the hook, and now in the next one, next stitch, again in the back strand of yarn, I'm gonna do a half double crochet, and again here where I have the marker, again in that one, I'm gonna work on the back strand of yarn, and now it will be those 2 in the middle, and I'm gonna work on those 2, but just in the whole thing. Let's do a strand, and now here where I have the marker, I'm gonna work only in the back strand of yarn. That's okay. I did 3, 1, 2, 3, where I have the marker, and then 4 and 5, the 2 in the middle, and this one is in the back strand number 6, and the next one back strand number 7, and in the last one back strand number 8. It will be 8 stitches. Now you guys see well what I did. Remember, it's 3 on this side, counting the one that the marker is, and 3 in the other side after the marker, and the 2 in the middle. Now I'm gonna chain 2, turn my work around, and I'm gonna do those 8 half double crochet for 9 rows. This is the second row, so I had to do 7 more times. 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work around, and again I'm going to do my 8 half double crochet. So I'll meet you here when I have my 8 half double crochet for 9 rows. Here I finished row number 9, and if you see, it's a straight piece, but I don't want mine to look straight. I want mine to look more round like this one, and it look much better like this with the round top. And to do that, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work around. I'm going to skip that stitch there, and I go to the next one and do a slip stitch, and do a slip stitch to the end. I sent my husband to get me some shoelace, longer shoelaces at the store, because these ones are too short. I'm going to skip that one and go to the last one and do my slip stitch. Chain 1, turn my work around. I'm going to skip that one, go to the next one, the slip stitches, and this is what I'm going to create that round part top. Here in the last one, chain 1, turn my work, always keeping the first one and the one before the last one. Okay. This is a little more difficult here in the top because remember that I slip stitch. So I'm going to skip that one, go to the last one, do my slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, cut the yarn, and lose the tail, and look how nice and round that look on the tail. Like that. Now we're going to work in this part of the slipper. I already loosed the tail from here and look really nice and round. And remember, I did 9 rows, but if you're making this bigger and you want to do this longer, you can make that more longer or shorter depending on the size that you're making. I'm gonna do a slip knot. I'm gonna come here. If I put this facing me on the left hand the marker. And the first, you see you have this strand of yarn that you work on the back. Well, you have 3 in the front, and the first one you're gonna pass your slip knot, and you're gonna chain 2. At the same time, I'm gonna be losing the tail, and I have 2 more of stranded yarn from the other stitch that I work on the back, and I'm gonna do those 2 half double crochet in that stranded yarn. That's 3. Those are the 3 that I count. And now in number 4, I'm gonna grab the whole stitch, the whole top, like that. And now you're gonna do those 28 half double crochet. Remember, we start with 30, but we left 2 here open. So you're gonna work with those 28 half double crochet. So I'll meet you here when I get to this end. Here I have 3 left. These 3 is 1 strand of yarn, and I'm gonna do my half double crochet, or my 3 half double crochet, chain 2, turn my work around, and I will do this row of 28 half double crochet. In the next row, row number 3, I will show you how we're gonna work our stitch, and then you will do row number 4, exactly the same, you know, your 28 half double crochet, and then in row number 5 we're gonna increase 1 stitch in the beginning and 1 at the end, and that will give us our 30 stitches that we have here. And from that row number 5, you're gonna do your slipper until you have the length that you want for yours. For mine, I did 15 row from this one here, 15 row, and after I finish 15, I close the back, and that's it. Here I finished row number 2, I chain 2, turn my work around, and here is what I want you to pay attention. We did here this part in the round, so you have an even stitch like that, but here we're working back and forth, and here, if you look well to your stitch, you have 1, 2, and 3 strand of yarn. Hope you can see, you see, these 2 and 1 in the back. If you grab this one, the top, you will have leave here the strand of yarn that we don't have in here. So I want to even work from this part here to the side of the slipper. So on a step to grabbing those 2, we're going to grab this one in the bottom and that one, those 2 in the front. You see this one and that one. Hope you guys can see well what I mean, like that. You see, you had this one in here and this one in the top, those 2, this one and that one, and you grab those 2, like that. And that will give you the stitch exactly as this one here. If you don't do that, you will have this part like this and the rest like this one. You see, this one has that extra strand of yarn every 2 rows. And you want an even stitch from the front and the side of the slipper. So you will do this row like this one, and then you come back, and in the row that will be coming back with row number 4, and then in row number 5 we'll do an increase, and from there you can work by yourself. And my husband came back with the shoelaces, and I put the 32 inches, and it looked really nice. I put 2 balls of yarn inside, so that's why it look a little funny, like a tube. So it will look like this. It look really nice. Here I finished row number 4, and I chain 2 for row number 5. We're going to do an increase in the beginning and an increase at the end. So remember, here when you're working in the outside part, you have to grab those 2 strands of yarn. That way you have an even work. I'm gonna do 1. Well, that will be number 2, really, because the chain 2, that's 2, and 3 in that same space. You see, I have 1, that is the chain, and then 2 at the same space, and then I'm gonna continue counting and grabbing those strands of yarn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. In here we do 29, and right in the tip where I had a chain, let's always get tighter. We do number 30, like that. Now you're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and you're going to work those 30 stitches until you have the length that you desire for your slipper. For mine is more like size 10, so I did from here, from the first row that I started here, I did 15 row, and then I closed the back, and then I did the side part here, and then put the shoelace, and we're done. So you'll do the size that you want here, and from there we'll continue. Here I finished my 15th row, and now I finished here with a chain, and now I'm gonna fold my piece like this. This is the inside of the piece, and I'm gonna sew it together with a crochet hook. So I'm gonna come here to the first one, I'm gonna pass my hook, I'm gonna pass it through the other side, I'm gonna pull it through and do a slip stitch. Now I'm gonna pass it through these 2 and the 2 on the other side like this, and I'm gonna do a slip stitch. Like that I'm gonna continue sewing it together all the way to the end, all the way to here, and I'll show you what to do next. Here I'm gonna finish with a chain 1, and I'm gonna cut the tail, leaving a little long tail to sew this in here. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that with a tapestry needle. Here we're gonna sew this part. You see it's a point what we have there, so we're gonna sew it here to make it more round. Like that, and look more round. So we're gonna lose this tail, and then we have to do these round pieces. To make this motif, I'm gonna do a magic circle, and I'm gonna chain 3. We're gonna do 14 double crochet in here and this is number 1, so I have to do 13 more. So I'll meet you here when I have my 14 double crochet. Here I have my 14 double crochet. I'm gonna pull this tail and close the circle, and I'm gonna count 1, 2, and on the third chain I'm gonna do a slip stitch. I'm gonna cut the tail long enough for sewing. I'm gonna pull it through, and very carefully we're gonna lose this tail here, because we're gonna use this wrong side, not this side of the circle. I'm gonna use this one to do the star. So lose this tail, and then I will show you how we're gonna do the star in here. To make the star, we're gonna bring our black yarn here, or blue, whatever color you're making yours, or brown, or anyway, or even red. You can do a red too. I'm gonna bring here. I'm gonna leave a little tail, that way I will tie some knot with the tail I will left from this one. I'm gonna come here, and in an angle, no straight, in an angle, I'm gonna bring this here. I'm gonna come here on this side, the same angle. I'm gonna bring it here where I start, like that. Now I'm gonna come here, to here, and just a second, I forgot to mention that we had to pass it under. We had to pass it under this strand here, and on top of this one, like that. See, under that one, on top of this one, and then we're gonna come here, and we're gonna bring it on top of that one, like that, and then we're gonna come here, and we're gonna bring it on top of this one and under this one. To here, and like that you have your star. And now we're gonna tie those two tails together, and remember you have to make 4 of these, 2 for each slipper or sneaker, and if you don't want 2 on each, you can make 1 on each, or you can do any if you don't want to. We're gonna tie a couple of knots here. To make this nice and secure. So you go ahead, make all of yours at once. I'm gonna cut the tail, and now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna sew this to here. Now here I have my tapestry needle already ready with the white yarn, and here remember I did a slip stitch, so I'm gonna bring it in the back here, up, and that will make the circle nice and round. To sew these ones, I count 6 and 3 from the top, 6, and this one is touching number 6 here, and 3 from the top. So you're gonna sew your circle, and now I already have the other one to guide me, so pretty much I'm gonna do this. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and it's in the perfect place there. So I'm gonna sew all the way around with the white. Just like this. Remember, you had to sew your 4 or 2 or none, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to continue doing this all the way around, and then what we have left to do is put the laces. In mine I put it, you see the opening is here, and I put it start here before the opening, and it looks really nice. Now with the 36 inches or 91 centimeter shoelace, I'm going to pass it through here and through here. You see, I left 2 holes or 3 half double crochet, and that is, here is the open. I left 1 in between, and in the next one here I'm going to cross them around, and in the first one here and this one. Like that, you're going to pass them through, crossing them. I did 3. I crossed them 3 times on this one here. So I'm going to finish mine, and I will show you the end result. Well, here is the end result, and I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber, and have a beautiful day. Bye.